CME's always known that we can't tackle stigma on our own. What we need to do is build a movement of individuals and organisations to support the campaign and to make changes. We want organisations to commit to tackling stigma and changing the way that people in their organisations talk about mental health. And pledging your support to CME is the best starting point to do that.
I think the profile of mental health clearly has certainly risen within Scotland and the UK over the past 5 or 10 years, but from our point of view, just to have that consistent approach, to be seen to be recognising it and to be seen to be investing in your staff and your employees in different ways is vital, and I think every organisation should think about it.
Well, I've been involved in mental health for the last 20 years. I've always worked in mental health with the council and with the NHS as well, and we were aware of the CME campaign and subsequently the pledge. We are aware that people, even with mild mental health problem, are not coming forward because they feel stigmatised, they feel that it's a weakness in them and don't access the support that's available for them. So we were very keen to try to decrease that stigma and raise the awareness of what's available for people.
The first impression on seeing the pledge and what it was about was that it would be a really good thing for us to get involved in, to bring our staff and students together to work on projects and develop a positive attitude towards mental health across the association.
Any organisation that cares about its staff, about its services and about its wider community needs to be concerned about mental health, because mental ill health affects 1 in 4 of your staff, your public, in any year. Signing up to support the CME pledge means that you're taking those concerns and those issues seriously.
I think it's really important to challenge the stigma of mental ill health, and CME help Lothian Borders Police to address that. We want to change the culture, we want to change attitudes of people towards mental ill health. People with ill health problems are individuals with dignity and value and worth, and it's really important that the police service and society in general recognises and values that.
The strength of the CME pledge is the fact that we know that it's 1 in 4 people who experience mental health problems. So when we think about Lanarkshire, that's over 120,000 people. Now we know that mental health services will not see the majority of those people. It's very important that we work with our partners to reduce the stigma associated with mental health and generally improve well-being.
Once an organisation's decided that it would like to pledge support to the CME campaign, the first thing to do is to really develop an action plan.
Continue to provide an employee assistance programme.
Provide articles in staff newsletters.
Provide work positive evaluation forums to obtain feedback from staff.
To strengthen the link we have with employers.
Support and listening to help other people, and feeling good workshops.
We always say that the action plan should be tailored to what you think you need to do and what you think you can do. And what we find is that the very act of developing the action plan, of thinking about it, is a way of starting that conversation about mental health in your organisation. And for some organisations, that's the first time that they've talked about mental health.
Our action plans were quite easy to develop in respect of, I suppose, part of my role is pretty much operations, so it became pretty logical in terms of what we could actually tie into, and it can be simple things. It doesn't need to be complicated things that you get involved in with your pledge. You can make it simple and as achievable as you possibly can, and that makes sense for us as a business and for CME as a campaign.
To be honest, once we started looking at what was required, there wasn't a huge amount of new work for us to do, because we were doing a lot of these things. It made us maybe stop and think a little bit about how we were doing them, or how, more importantly, how we were letting people know about it. So it was quite a nice process, and that was, I think the word you used, but it was reaffirming what we were about.
It makes you realise what more you can do, and there's some things, particularly in terms of promotion, communication, which you never do as well as you want to. Yes. So there's always room for improvement. And going through this has made us perhaps aware that we could pull our socks up in certain areas and do a bit better, which is a good reason for doing the process.
Well, I think it's really good that Hillcrest keeps up to date all the time. and tries to find out, you know, if there's any other way in which they can assist service users, you know, and why they constantly have these sort of forums and discussions. I like this, you know. I mean, it says a lot for an organisation that does that, you know. I mean, it really, we're not just left, you know, with on our own or anything like that to just, you know. I think it's good, you know. I think it's really good.
It's good to hear that, Phil.
Yeah. Good.
Once you've developed and approved that action plan, then we're ready to make that public commitment. Then we're ready to sign the pledge.
We're delighted to sign the pledge today. It's very easy to work with organisations like CME and to see it as a bit of a kind of PR marketing exercise and something that we just add into our tenders. And though those benefits are clearly present for us as an organisation, the most important thing is going to be the 10-point plan that we put in place. And this is a real commitment on our side about focusing on managers, focusing on behaviour in the workplace and being able to identify some of the early signs of mental health and helping people deal with it.
When organisations sign up to the pledge, it's a joint effort. It's a joint effort between an organisation and CME.
The CME organisation is a brilliant help because they've got lots of resources and lots of help. Anytime we're stuck with any questions or information that we phone them up, or they'll bring somebody down to help us and talk to us and give us information to carry on what we're doing.
One of the ways I first experienced stigma and discrimination after the first time I was in hospital was when I went to the bank. And now the reason why I went to the bank was every Friday afternoon I had to go into the bank to pick up my wages. What I do for the CME campaign is go around different places such as schools, colleges, places of work. I've even been to a Rotary Club one time. I talk about my experience of mental health, stigma and discrimination. The bank manager appeared from behind his glass door in the middle of the bank, and he stood in the doorway and he stood back and he went, "Stand back," and pointed at me and said, "This is a dangerous man." And I just became really embarrassed. And I didn't know quite what to do, and I decided then, I thought, there was no need for that kind of reaction. The benefit to an organisation is it gives the people in the organisation an understanding of how mental health affects particular people, and also it makes them realise that they're just normal people, and we've had the same experiences as them.
See me, who do you see? A woman, a mum, a granny to boot, a lover of music, concerts and meals to cook. But see me, who do you see? A mum grief-stricken over the loss of my son, a woman afraid, anxious in crowds, just need to run.
We know that if people can be open about their own mental health and their own mental ill health, that can help them to recover, to stay in work, and to ask for help within their workplace. So signing up to the pledge, being part of an organisation which has a culture of openness and support about mental health is good for employees. It helps employee retention, it helps the organisation, and it's great for business.
As I see the benefits, there are many. And it's not just about compliance, it's not just about ticking another box in your equality plan or anything like that. For me, and I often use this argument with senior managers, there is the business case. It increases the productivity of staff, it makes things easier all round for everybody. If people are happy, generally speaking, they will operate better.
We now have over 500 organisations signed up to support the CME campaign, and we're keen to work with all of them and more.
The big benefit for the store is that a lot of as the principles and policies are built round about the individual and about respect for the individual, which is a massive part of our setup as a company. So it gave us an opportunity to just look into that a wee bit more in depth and see how we could help.
We think it's important to raise the awareness of not only our staff, our key staff, but also to try and transmit some of that to our wide-ranging customers as well, and make sure that we connect in the most positive way that we can with them.
Yeah, it's a really positive response. I'm actually quite pleased with the response that we've had. We are a lot more aware of what's going on and what we can do to help, and we're all willing to do this. And for me personally, it's important because I've been there. I've got people in my family that obviously have mental health issues, and I think it's just a good feeling knowing that you can obviously help raise awareness.
For any organisation that is wanting to sign up to the pledge, I would just say do it. Really think about what a difference this can make to your staff, to your customers and your organisation, and just do it.
We're committed to working with CME in the long term so that we can really make Lothian Borders Police a much better place to work for everyone right across the spectrum.
One of our local champions quite often says about CME, it's not why should my organisation do this, it's why wouldn't my organisation do this?